call the meeting of the Austintown Township Trustees for April 29th to order. Would you please stand for the pledge? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Here.
Mr. McLeish? Here. Sit on the ground.
I welcome you here. I called you just before I left because I just saw that you called me. You have a packed house, I see, so. May I introduce you three, like you don't know these people, but may I introduce you to our board here. On the far right, representing the director of the senior center, our assistant director, Jessica Rickery. Next to her is our park superintendent, Todd Schaefer, and Todd, let's get this out of the way. With all due, we do feel very strongly that we're sorry about your loss, your mother-in-law, and God rest her soul. I hope she's smiling down on you now.
Thank you.
Our fire chief, Andy Frost, our police chief, Bob Cavalier, our zoning inspector, Darren Covelli, our township administrator, road superintendent, Mike Dockery. To my right, Jim Davis, trustee. My name is Ken Carano, and I'm a trustee. To my left is Doug McGlynn, and he's a trustee. And all the way to the left, the person who really runs the township, our fiscal officer, Mrs. Laura Wolf. A motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 8th.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Mr. McLeish?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Okay, Michael, let's have an administrative report.
I have nothing for the administrator's report or the road department.
What have you been doing?
Looking at a lot of roads
A lot of
for our
roads.
for next year's issue 1 application.
And when you make that report, you'll have a lot of people calling you, I'll tell you that. Anyway, because that's what we tell them to. Oh, you have a problem with that, the selection of the roads? Call the administrator.
But you know what, Ken, I'll just make a comment about that because actually we've had some calls last week and sometimes I think that people think that they need to call and if that's the way they get their road on the list. It's not the way the road gets on the list. It gets on the list based on its condition, basically. I mean, like you are, I'm sure, are well aware of all the roads or sections of roads that are, in bad shape. So it's not a matter that you have to call and because you call, we put your road on the list. That's not how it works.
Yeah, let's deal with this right now because it is important. On my street, I get knocks on the doors and stuff like this with my neighbors asking me, are you going to be able to get our road paved? And although the road is rough, I said, in comparison to the other roads in Austintown, we have a good road. So no, this isn't going to get paved. But the fact of the matter is, the people that you're looking at, the two people at the end of the table, drive through every road in Austintown and grade them. Yes, there's some roads out there that are bad, but not near as bad as some of the others. Now, don't get us wrong. We try desperately to get every dime we can to pave all the roads. But like I tell everyone, when I first was a trustee, it cost roughly around $50,000 to $20,000 a mile. Now it costs $120,000 a mile. Our governor has not given us back the money they took from us. We're lucky enough that our administrator has found some other means of trying to find some road money, so we're going to be able to do more roads than we have in the past. But the fact of the matter is, the road list has the very poorest roads and all the way down. And the police and the fire department report those constantly throughout the year. Gentlemen, you want to say anything about it?
I would say too, many people sometimes mistake county roads for township roads. And I know Mike gets a lot of calls on county roads that are not our responsibility, but they're the actual county roads, and they'll be paving some of those. I think if you've seen the recent listing of roads that are paved, it clearly marks some of those spots that are really bad in and around Austintown. But Mike does get a lot of calls, and there are a lot of miles, 115 miles of road in Austintown, so it's a lot of miles to check, and he does a great job with that from that standpoint. We also, because if you remember, the police levy passing allowed us to allocate a little bit more money towards resurfacing, so we've been able to do that this year as well. I know it's hard to believe $100,000 to pave 1 mile. That's crazy. You think it would be paved with gold, but it's just asphalt.
You're right. Jim, do you have anything?
No, just to quickly touch on what Doug said about the county roads as opposed to township roads. Anybody that is questioning or may have a concern and wondering which roads are township roads to county roads, there's a listing of the state and county roads on our township's website. So you can go to our website and all that is listed there. So that may help you if you have a question before you call Mike or whether you need to contact the county engineer's office. One of the things I would like to say though, in regards to our county roads, I will say though that Austintown has been very beneficial because of the Racino. That Pat Giannetti and the county commissioners had created a TIF when they built the facility, which mandated that roads that were ancillary that brought people to the Racino or that were within a 3-mile radius of the Racino that were county roads could be paved. So we have been very, very fortunate to have those roads paved, and that's why you'll see a lot of paving on those county roads in Austintown Township. And that was because of when we were talking about this project initially, we discussed that with the county commissioners, and the county commissioners had the foresight to go ahead with that and create that TIF. So we thank them for doing that.
Okay. All right, moving on. Police department.
Got nothing to add to the report.
Thank you, Chief. Andy, the fire department.
Yeah, just real quick, we said goodbye to 2 of our guys this week for retirement. Obviously, everybody knows Bob Williams was our assistant chief and spent over 40 years on our department. So today's his first day of full retirement. And also John McCabe, who was a part-time firefighter with us. He was on for between 25 and 30 years. He is also retired as of the 22nd of April. So just thank you to both of those guys, and obviously how much we appreciate their service.
That's great, and great service that they did provide for us. And we'll get an opportunity to talk more about them later. Okay. Darren, what's going on in the zoning department?
I just want the trustees to know I'm very jealous of the 2 firefighters who retired.
Are you saying you don't want to work anymore? Because all it takes is 2/3 vote, we can make that happen.
It takes 8 years, 1 month, and 1 day. Who's counting?
When you start knowing the hours, minutes, and seconds of work.
Well, I tell everybody, retirement is what it's made out to be. It's a hell of a lot better. Because then you set up your own schedule. That's great.
I hear the worst part of being retired is that you don't get a day off.
Well, that's true, that's true. The big thing is, though, you don't know what day it is. That's what it is. Okay, thank you, Chief. Okay, go ahead, Darren.
I would ask the board to approve the nuisance resolution under ORC 505.87, declaring the following properties a nuisance. 3907 Drive, high grass and weeds. 2434 Amberley Street, a large amount of miscellaneous items and junk and debris throughout the property. 4516 Aspen Drive, high grass and weeds. 2547 Bainbridge Street, junk and debris. 12 North Beverly Avenue, high grass and weeds. 3441 Black Oak Lane, high grass and weeds, yard waste, above ground pool and shed and in disrepair. 4019 Berkey Road, that's a vacant lot, litter, that's the corner of Berkey and 14. 4285 Berkeley Road, a large amount of miscellaneous items, junk and debris, and high grass and weeds. 142 North Campbell Niles Road, high grass and weeds. 152 North Campbell Niles Road, high grass and weeds. 120 Cavalcade, high grass and weeds. 1228 Cavalcade, high grass and weeds. 5530 Colgate Avenue, the fence in disrepair falling down. 325 Behoff Drive, high grass and weeds. 3950 Dunbar, high grass and weeds. 4659 Fitzgerald, high grass and weeds. Intersection of Mahoney Avenue and Northwest Boulevard, high grass and weeds. 4520 Mahoney Avenue, high grass and weeds. Maple Avenue, lot number 3, a large amount of miscellaneous items, junk and debris, including numerous trailers in a state of disrepair, stored in exposed manner throughout the property and within the riparian setback. 175 South Lamar Avenue, high grass and weeds, in the corner of Northwest and Raccoon Road, high grass and weeds. 4782 Pine Trace, high grass and weeds. 1705 South Raccoon Road, a large amount of miscellaneous items, junk and debris stored in exposed manner around the dumpsters and fence on the southeast section of the property. That's the southeast section of Woodward Plaza. 1743 South Raccoon Road, junk and debris, trash stored along the wall of the nightclub, just right across from the previous one. 3019 Redgate Lane, junk and debris in the carport. 2837 Spring Meadow Drive, high grass and weeds. 5674 Tulane Avenue, high grass and weeds. 5396 West Webb Road, high grass and weeds throughout the yard. And 254 Westminster Avenue, front sidewalk in disrepair.
Hey Darren, this is that time of the year, the grass is growing like crazy and people haven't cut it, but we're gonna get a lot of this. Would you please explain, as we do at the beginning of every summer, what happens when they get a letter? How do they get a letter and what happens after?
Basically, if a house is vacant, residents can call the zoning office. Our number is 330-799-3241 and file a complaint with us. Make sure you give us the address. A lot of people will just give us the house number but not the street. Give us the house number, the street. Let us know if the house is vacant. And if you're cutting the front yard but not cutting the back, tell us that. But basically, you file a complaint with us. We go out and verify it. And if the house is vacant, we put it on this list. We bring it to the trustees. Trustees hold 2 meetings a month. And the trustees hopefully will approve it. And then once they approve it, we still have to give notice, which we do. Also with the vacant homes, so as part of the notice process, we have the police deliver it. And then we create a list for the road department. The road department will go out after a 7-day waiting period. They'll go out and begin cutting. Unfortunately, when you have inclement weather, a lot of rain and stuff, and you get properties that the grass is a couple of feet high, sometimes the road guys can only do 2 or 3 properties a day, so it takes a while, but the important thing is call the office and let us know that the house is vacant. There's only 2 of us in the office, so we don't know where every vacant home is. Once we cut the grass, then we calculate the fee for that, and we will eventually put a lien on the property. We send our liens to the auditor about every 3 months. But the important thing is the residents have to call us. We also encourage the residents with vacant homes, go ahead and park your car in the driveway so the house looks occupied, so that no one, so it doesn't become attractive for someone to break in. And also during the day, if you see a construction crew there, don't be afraid to call the police, to have the police go over and just make sure it really is a construction crew. Sometimes you'll get a pickup truck with a construction company on the side, and what they're actually doing is, and they're cutting out all the pipe and mechanical. So it doesn't hurt to call the police if you see activity at a vacant house, just to ensure that the infrastructure within the house is preserved and not stolen. But once again, just call the zoning office and we will go through our process. It's a timely process. If you have a vacant home on your street, my guess is we'll cut it 3, 4, 5 times a year, just because of the numbers that we have.
Okay, may I have a resolution, a motion, please?
Second.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
And I would ask the board to approve a motion to find the following motor vehicles meet all the following criteria: 3 model years or older, apparently inoperable and extensively damaged, including but not limited to any of the following: missing wheels, tires, engine, or transmission, and declare the following vehicles public nuisances under Ohio Revised Code 505.871 and order the removal of junk vehicle within 14 days after notice is served to the property owner. 4641 Rita Avenue, an inoperable club cab pickup truck with an expired license plate GYE 2695, a red pickup truck with an expired license plate BX15FD, parked in an exposed manner at the property, and 5437/5439 Blue Ida Boulevard, 2 inoperable Jeeps with expired license plates parked in exposed manner on the grass within the southeast rear yard.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kranek?
Yes.
Mr. Benoit?
Yes.
Anything else there?
That's all I have on the board.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on now to the park department, talk what's going on in the park.
Well, first, I'd like to thank the Austintown Junior Women's League. If you've been by the Wycliffe Park lately, there's 4 brand new picnic tables down there, and those were donated by the Austintown Junior Women's League. So I'd like to thank them for their donation. Yesterday was our Kids Shine for a Cure Kite Festival. Didn't think we were going to get that big of a crowd with the weather the way it was in the morning, but it cleared up pretty quick, and at noon, we got pretty packed. We did 474 kites yesterday. We had quite a few people out there. We had a good time. Wind was just perfect. It was a little cold, but other than that, it was perfect for that event. I'd like to thank Home Depot and the Sheriff's Department and the Austintown Police Department for their demonstrations out there yesterday. And of course, Brenda Ryder, who puts this event on every year. She did another fantastic job. And I'm looking forward to it again next year. That's all I have.
The park itself, the kids' swings and stuff.
Everything's up and going. Tennis courts, basketball courts, the swings. The only thing that's not running is the splash pad. We'll open that up the week of Memorial Day weekend. If it gets hotter before then, we'll open it up early, but normally we don't open it up until the week of Memorial Day weekend.
Well, it's supposed to be 80 degrees Wednesday and raining, so you can put your bathing suit on and go outside.
Yeah, pretend it is what it is.
Okay, thank you. Jessica, what's going on at Senior Center?
So I just put out a survey today, trying to get some input, suggestions for like food, programming, sponsors, trips, that sort of stuff, to see if there's anything that you might be missing that the seniors want, or maybe if there's something that we need changed. And we've been spring cleaning, so we got our carpets cleaned for the year. We tore up our shuffleboard court, and we're working on moving some stuff around, spring cleaning, that sort of stuff. And we're still updating our files. We've been updating our membership applications, making sure we've got up-to-date emergency contacts and all that. But now we're going through all of our records, marking people as inactive, that sort of stuff, so we can get better numbers of who's coming to sign.
You're doing your census.
Yeah,
Good.
pretty much. That's about it.
Laura, what's going on with our money?
Just waiting on the final settlement for the first half, and just have the reports for review.
Okay, we have a motion, please, to approve the March report submitted to the board on the April 8th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kranek?
Yes.
Mr. Benoit?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Under new business, we need a motion to approve advances from the general fund $1,000 to $40,000 to lighting district 4501.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Benoit?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kranek?
Yes. Okay, we're at the part of our meeting where we have the public response, both on and off the TV camera. Anyone here want to speak off camera? Great, thank you, because Yolanda would have to reach up there to turn it off, that's a long reach. Okay, anyone would like to speak on camera, please? We have 3 people that, you guys always like to say something. Okay, thank you. Hi. Point. Okay, thank you so very much. Now to the remarks from our board members. Laura?
I don't have anything today.
Jim, you want to be next?
Sure. I know that I know Chief Gavalier is probably going to have a visit, but it was announced on our police district's Facebook page. So I guess we should welcome K9 Gunny, our new K9. They had it on a Facebook page. How much sooner till K9 Gunny hits the road running?
He's already running.
He's already running. When's he coming to visit?
I'm gonna do that next trustees meeting, surprise everybody, but.
My room's. Sorry for ruining the surprise, Chief. But anyhow, I saw it on the Facebook page. For those of you that don't know, because it's been quite helpful in solving some crimes, our police district has a Facebook page. You can simply go to Facebook and pull up Austintown Township Police District, and you will see our Facebook page, and periodically they will have some security camera pictures from Walmart, Home Depot, one of the banks, wherever there might have been something that took place, a crime committed. If somebody has a picture or something from security cameras, they've been able to put that on there and it's solved some crimes. So please check out our Facebook page. But welcome K9 Gunny. I wanted to, I got a chance to give him a phone call last Friday after they gave him a ride home with a fire truck. But Assistant Chief Bob Williams, I just wanted to take an opportunity to publicly thank him for his many years of service to the Austintown community. We had a very tough decision between whether to hire Captain Hernandez or Captain Williams at the time. And I can tell you that after seeing what he did in the course of the past several years, we made the right decision with Assistant Chief Bob Williams. Couldn't have been prouder of what he did as the Assistant Chief. I know you're going to miss him, but I think you'll have a surprise for us at the next meeting. I won't ruin that one. But I know he's already working as our new Assistant Chief, but we'll make it official at our next meeting. But looking forward to the great deal of work I know that our new Assistant Chief, he's got big shoes to fill, but I know he's going to do well. We always talk about O'Donnell's and St. Patrick's Day, so don't forget this coming weekend. This is the week, St. Patrick's Day, everyone's Irish. This weekend, everybody's Mexican, Cinco de Mayo. So don't forget, we have a new Mexican restaurant down here at Silica and 46, Cavaleras, which for those of you that don't know, that is Juan from Salsitas. Yeah, the old Salsitas. The food hasn't changed. Juan still does a phenomenal job, so make sure you stop there. We have El Jalapeno on Mahoning Avenue, and then we have El Cowboy on Raccoon Road. And El Cowboy's got a big outdoor event Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with music and entertainment. So anybody that pretended to be Irish on St. Patrick's Day, you can pretend to be Mexican this weekend, and please go to one of those restaurants and support them. I quickly wanted to talk about Brenda Ryder and Kids Shine for a Cure. I wasn't able to make it out there yesterday, Todd, but we need to bring Brenda to one of our meetings and thank her publicly, I think, because she has put this event on every year since I've been trustee, and it is such a great event. And I can remember going there the first year and it was a smaller event, and now hearing we have over 400 people attending, that is a huge accomplishment and achievement. And Brenda not only does that, but she's involved with getting volunteers recognized by the President of the United States, where each year she presents proclamations and certificates to volunteers in our local communities from the actual President of the United States. So, I mean, that's much bigger than the 3 trustees here giving you a proclamation, but Brenda's a part of that. And just congratulations to her and the people that she works with, because she has done a phenomenal job. And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to make that event, because I know it is a great one. Aside from that, I noticed we had some money transferred to lighting districts, and I'm going to ask Mike to do this because I've gotten, just within the past 3 weeks, probably about 7 requests. How do we get streetlights in our neighborhood? And I've went through the process, but Mike, I'm going to let you, if you wouldn't mind, tell people how they can get streetlights in their neighborhood if they don't have them.
Well, they call the township, whoever calls the township, we will complete a petition for them with the description of what they tell us, the part of the street or the entire street, whatever, or streets, that they want included in the lighting district. We'll fill the petition in for them, and then they have to take it around, and we will count the number of homes in the lighting district as they described it to us, and we'll tell them you gotta get one more than 50 signatures on this petition.
50%.
Right, one more than 50% on this petition. And then if they do that, they return the petition to us, and then we set it for a public hearing. Notices go out to everybody in the, notices are taken by the same person who requested the petition. We give them a notice of the hearing date and copies, and we tell them, you have to deliver these to every house in the lighting district. And so they walk their streets and deliver the notice of the hearing. Then we'll have a hearing. At that hearing, Ohio Edison will tell us what the cost is, both the initial cost to install the lights and then the estimated annual electric cost.
Now, we're talking about cost, and I know the answer to this, but I want to be clear. Is this a cost to the township, or is this a cost to the homeowner?
Cost, ultimately is the cost of the homeowner. The township pays the upfront installation cost, but that installation cost is paid back by the homeowners the first year, the next year after that on their property tax. They pay half of it for the first 6-month property tax, the other half of the installation cost is their second half property taxes. And then their annual usage cost, they'll pay on their property taxes also. But that's usually not, the usage cost with the new lights is down to anywhere from $4 to $10 a year. So that doesn't stop anybody from not wanting it. It's always the installation cost, the upfront money that people will come to the public meeting when they get that upfront cost, what it's going to cost every house. A lot of them back out and say, we no longer are in favor of it.
And the irony is, it sounds like a lot of people, but the fact of the matter is, the lighting district could be as little as 6 houses, if it's that particular area. But the cost factor then is distributed with those 6 people. So,
I've gotten some requests by people who live in developments off of North Turner Road. That seems to be the areas where they're, in question. So I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Other than that, that's all I got.
thank you, sir. Sir?
It's funny you mentioned the lighting district, because in the last few weeks I've received several calls on how do we do it. And I don't know if they've called Mike already, but we did our neighborhood about 25 years ago. And I think it cost us 85 cents a month for that first year to pay it, and then it's dropped since. So it's well worth it. It lights up your neighborhood, gives you a lot of good visibility for some of those neighbors who are very, very neighborhoods are dark. So it is very cheap, it's easy to do, and just call Mike Dockery and he'll get you all set up for it from that standpoint. I'd like to also thank Bob and John for their dedication and service to the Austintown Fire Department, and congratulate Dave Schertzer, who will be our new assistant chief. I believe his first day was today. Correct?
Officially it is next Sunday.
Officially,
He's
it's
assuming
next-
responsibility.
But he's taking over some responsibilities. So I'd like to congratulate him as well. It's a well-deserved promotion. Also, I'd like to congratulate Wes O'Connor and the band for marching in the NATO Day Parade. Every year he tries to find an unusual parade that he tries to get the band involved in. They've been all over the country. doing different types of parades from Disney to states like Kentucky, Virginia. And congratulations to him in doing the annual NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization parade. And Bill Klein for choir and the job they did at the Norfolk Hospital. I believe, Todd, you have a Mother's Day open market coming up
Yes, that is this Friday
this Friday.
at the Stacy Pavilion from 5:30 to 8:30.
If you've never been to the market, it's really nice. It's a nice event. And you get a lot of things very reasonable. And a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits and honey and different things when you're there. So it's a good event to attend. That's all I got.
Very good. You know, it's sad to see people who've served the township very well to leave, but they created a tradition that has been carried on for so long. And those two firefighters have helped keep that tradition going, and we thank them for that. And we just hope the new guys coming up know how to do just what their predecessors did. It's been a nice week, a couple of weeks here in Austintown. Laura and I, once a year, put on our Here Comes the Judge robe, and we go with the Kiwanis, and they have this trivia contest. You could have 10 people on a team, and they get some wild trivia that they compete with. And let me tell you, it's cute, it's fun, but these people are competing for real. They really are. And our job is to judge the issue, but thank God they give us the answers. We try selling them, but nobody wants to buy them right away. But I want to thank the Kiwanians for doing a great job. The Optimist had a wine taste that was a huge success. People have shown up there. We understand Austintown has so many great organizations that have purposes, and the purposes are done. The problem with everything now is that there's a lot of volunteerism that is lacking. A lot of the organizations have to fight to be able to get more people to come in because other people have either retired or unfortunately passed away. But the Kiwanians and the Optimists have done such a great job continuing with their service to the community, and I congratulate them for that. You know, the band is really great. You know, it's really funny. I got to present the proclamations at the United Veterans Council of Youngstown. That is the council of all the veterans organizations. I thought it was very appropriate that they came to Austintown because Austintown, by far, out of all the communities in our area, are represented by practically every group that of veterans. And this Justin Lamore, the young kid from Springfield, did a great job on a lot of the cemeteries, and he got the award. Chief Master Sergeant Laurie Stone, who graduated from Fitch High School, became the Veteran of the Year. Anthony Trafficani became the Citizen of the Year for it. But the best part is the band. Our band, now, I was stunned because I was at Fitch High School when it first started, when the choir started going to veterans hospitals to entertain. At that time, the director was Rosemary Casher, and the man who's really pushed the issue was at the ceremony a couple of days ago, and that was our history teacher, Mel Coker, who was a Navy veteran. And he actually led the way for this to happen. But ever since Rosemary Casher started this, and folks, that was 47 years ago, our choirs have been going to these places. And Bill Klein, as the director now, just like all the rest of them, is doing an outstanding job. And if you haven't heard them perform, somewhere, somehow, make sure you go and find out. Now, the last two things I have to talk about, one is coming up, and that's the census. I'm going to keep pushing the census like crazy. I was around with the last census. And what irritated me more than anything else was the negativity of people saying, don't fill out the census form. The insanity of that is beyond belief, because the census is what gives the government the ability to send us taxes. The more people who we have in this township, the more taxes we get, tax money we get to perform. The irony is the last time we performed this, we actually attacked the government because we said it can't be. We didn't have 32,000 people. We had a lot more than that. What they did was they compromised and they gave us 36,000. But the thing is, this township has well over 40,000. But everyone that turns around and says, I'm not going to fill out the tax form because I don't want to be called to jury duty, is cutting their own throat. Because that's the money that you're paying in that's not coming back to us in our township. So when the time comes, make sure everybody in your household fills out the census report. And the last thing is this. There is one thing on the ballot, believe it or not, in May, Austintown has to go to vote. There's only one issue in the county, and that's the safety issue. It's a renewal of the safety issue that you passed about 3.5 years ago. And that is for the county, the sheriff, the prosecutor, and everybody else that deals with law and order in the Mahoning County. I recommend very highly that you vote for it, but the fact of the matter is we want you to go for only one little issue. If you don't want to do that, you can call the Board of Elections and get an absentee ballot sent to you, but we'd like you to vote for that issue. Okay? Anybody else have anything to say? Righty. We need a motion to go to executive session to consider the appointment, discipline, and compensation of a public employee, or preparing for, conducting, and reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
So,
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Fredo?
Yes.
Mr. McLean?
yes.
Okay, we will now go into executive session.
In association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.